thanks to Bag and Board, I have a convention coming up here. Shut, shut that window so the neighbor doesn't bother us here. So yeah, I'm just gonna sit here. I'm just gonna hang out. Um, I'm just gonna be bag and boarding some comics. Like I said, I got a con coming up this weekend, so I gotta get everything ready for that. I already have my portfolio kind of already here, good to go. But nonetheless, we got bag and boarding to do. So I figured I'd go ahead and just throw the stream on and just kind of hang out and see if anybody pops in here, just sit and shoot the shit a little bit. Yeah, I don't know how many issues I'm gonna end up taking up with me to the con. Probably sell in between 10 to 20 is probably like my estimation on probably what we're gonna be looking at. Let's see here. Why can't I get into my live dashboard? There we go. So I can see the chat. What the hell else do I need? Oh yeah, you kind of need bags and boards, don't you? I'll kind of show off what I do though, so that way people can see what I got going on. Because I think it's kind of important to show, just kind of what I do for my cons, and other people can kind of take away from that as well. So here's how I do all of my stuff. Just grabbing everything here. Thanks for everybody for coming and hanging out. How's it going? All right, so I got business cards made up, so you can see that there. So it's important, I think, to on your business cards when you are making these is to put your contact info on there. Obviously, people need to know how to get a hold of you, and then as well, I stick a QR code on there, and that just goes straight to my website, and that just directs you to my YouTube channel, straight to my website, my store, so on and so forth. So you can just find me everywhere, anywhere from that. So then, what I do is, so let me move this. I'll take my comic. So we got the comic, and then we will bag and board this. So then you slide it into your bag and board, and then I will take the business card and I will tape it to the front of the bag and board. So that way it's just kind of free advertisement there. Pretty awesome. But yeah, I mean, we can sit and we can literally talk about anything. So anything that you guys might have, like what anybody's reading, what we got going on today, whatever you're collecting. Sit and just chat for a little bit. But yeah, I'm just gonna sit and, like I said, I'm gonna bag and board for some fun here, and then probably end up doing some drawing. So I've shown these off in the past before, but I have the sketchbooks here. I've sold these for $2 a piece on my website. If you go to my website, as you can see on the backs here, I do original drawings, and they're one-for-one drawings. There's only 75 of these sketchbooks out there. I've sold 9 of these so far. This stack right here, yeah, pretty much this entire stack is what I'm going to be taking up to the con with me. But I thought this was a good idea to do again. Put the QR code on the back, and then you just kind of do just random little quick sketches. I don't know, these drawings take me like 10, 15 minutes a piece, kind of just depending on how fast or how detailed I want to go on these. I got to do 75 of these, so I want to do them a little quicker than not. But I did a Mr. Natural, so your R. Crumb. I did like a fat, goofy looking Patrick. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. My Wi-Fi just kind of died out on me, so I apologize for that. But I'm gonna keep going here. So I got a Rosie, and then I did a fun little Mojo Jojo as well. So yeah, that's kind of the stack that I have currently. I'm probably gonna take like 10 of these up there with me. I feel like a lot of this stuff I'm probably gonna end up selling at Eddie Pecan anyways when the summer comes up. Shut that window; it's a little noisy. But yeah, so that's kind of what I have here. So I'm probably going to crank out some of those drawings later on in the stream possibly and just do a couple more of them. I try to get 5 of these done a day. Like I said, I have 75 of them that I have to get done. So it's quite a bit of drawings, and I try to do each individual one as their own things. So that way there's not repeats. And then the same thing, like I try to not to do repeats on properties. So if it's like 2 things from Scooby-Doo, like I'm not going to draw a Scooby and a Shaggy, like I only do like a Scooby, so on and so forth. I'm trying to, whatever you want to say, like I'm trying to challenge myself, I guess. So that's that. And then is what I will do then is if somebody does get, the sketchbook and everything, I'll slide it into the bag and board with this, with the business card attached to the front. Once that's on there, I went and I bought some, like these are just yard sale stickers, and I printed my QR code onto the stickers themselves. So that way, when you're closing up the bag and board, instead of just using standard tape like anybody else would, I close it up with my QR code sticker. I understand it's kind of dark, but I'll probably turn this light on. It might help out some. But yeah, so it has that QR code on there, as you can see. So it just, again, sends people directly to my website, and it's reusable. So that's a lot of things is when like you use like the Scotch tape and things like that. Sometimes you'll rip the Scotch tape, the tape will rip in half, the bag and board will rip in half, and it's kind of annoying just as a collector in general. So it's like use painter's tape or like use like a reusable seal like this. And that way too, like the seal itself won't get ripped, and then that QR code will basically always be there. So even if it does end up in another, it's not my comic that's in the bag and board, and this bag and board ends up in some random comic shop, long box or whatever, when they're selling back issues, somebody scans that, boom, takes them to me. Like it's just kind of like a win-win for everybody. So I recommend to do that. It's kind of like a little cheat that I did. And then as well, anybody that does buy anything, I throw in free stickers. So I got like Space Ghost stickers. I got Beetlejuice stickers. Like this cool little monster guy that I drew. Holographic stickers. And then as well, I drew like a animal from Muppets. So I got some of those as well. So buy anything, one of those just kind of gets tossed into the order for free. So that's going to be a lot of fun for people there. Just free stuff, incentives to actually buy things. But yeah, I'm just going to sit and keep going here. bag and board up a couple of these, get rock and rolling for the con. What the heck? It is pretty hot today. It's like almost 90 degrees. It's like the hottest day it's been so far this year. It's actually been pretty mild actually in terms of like the weather, so but yeah, I have a con coming up this weekend. Um, it is going to be up in Green Bay, Wisconsin. So if you do live in the Fox Valley area, I'll be up there. The con is on Sunday. It's going to be running from 10 to 2, I believe it is. Just like 4 hours. I have to be there at 8 o'clock to start setting up my table and everything like that. I don't think it's going to take me that long to really set up my table. Like, it'll probably take me no less than 10 to 15 minutes, but nonetheless, they want us there 2 hours early to kind of get the ball rolling. I've been to a couple of these cons before, and they're actually pretty busy. Like, not in terms of like the amount of people that actually are tabling there, but just like the amount of foot traffic that come there, it's actually pretty crazy. It's one of those types of like old school cons that you really don't see very often. Like, you walk in and it looks like it's in a VFW hall, like that kind of con. Like, it's down and dirty. Um, and I'm probably gonna end up streaming from there because my normal stream time is 10:30 on Sundays, obviously, and I'm gonna be at there at that con, so I'm probably just gonna be straight streaming from that table. I'm not gonna have like an assistant or anything with me. I don't think. I might ask like a friend to go with me, possibly, to stay at the table just in case anybody ever come by and like wants to buy anything from me. But I think for the most part, is what I'm going to actually end up doing is um, walking around with my phone while I'm at the con and just kind of like show everybody around. Like I said, that's going to be this upcoming Sunday, so that's what I'm kind of doing here, is bagging and boarding up my comics, getting ready for the con coming up this weekend. And the con just happens to be running at my normal stream time, so if the internet slash signal is strong enough in that building, because we know how some of those buildings can be. It's like there's so many people, and just the way the building's designed, it doesn't let wireless signal come through very easily. So I'm gonna try to stream from there. So I think that'll be a lot of fun because that's not something that you see a lot of people really do, especially like in our like small community. You don't see a lot of people like hopping in and actually doing that sort of thing. So it's a win-win. Um, and then as well, like I'm trying to organize something a little more serious for like Eddie Pecan because I think that just me tabling there isn't satisfactory enough for me. Like I want to be more involved, at least which is like in the community, helping out, whatever it is. So I'm trying to get like the wheels kind of rolling on a whatever you want to say, on like a pub crawl, comic shop crawl. Um, I reached out to Dave over at West Coast Avengers to see if that's something that he would like to do with me. And I'm still just kind of standing by on a reply. I know the last time that me and him kind of spoke about Eddie Pecan, he was kind of telling me that he doesn't really know if he wants to do anything with it, and he might just want to sit back and just like enjoy it this year. But nonetheless, I think that it's still something that I want to ask him because I don't think that there's really anybody else in like our community that has that same like driver passion that I have for kayfabe. So that's kind of why I approached Dave to ask him if he wanted to, do like a comic crawl with me. I do have some books that we can probably look at too at some point. I ended up picking up a couple of things from Dave. I do have those here, so we might end up taking a look at those. But for now, we're just bagging and boarding, just kind of getting prepared for the con this weekend. So that way, if anybody does kind of pop in here during the replay or whatever, they kind of have some more things to look at besides me just sitting here yapping into the screen. Oh, lost my train of thought. Yeah, I got a lot of stuff that I gotta get done though, folks. Like I gotta get 3 pages penciled for homework for SVS, and I do Thursday. Um, I have to basically finish writing my comic. I honestly think like I'm done writing it at this point. Like there really isn't any dialogue that's gonna really changing anything, and I already know like what's gonna happen in the story. So like I'm done writing the damn thing. Like I don't need to put into writing like the finish. I don't think because I know it in my head. And it's like I had the thing more than 3/4 of the way done. Like I would say like maybe like 5% of it isn't in the actual book. But like the climax and everything like that, it's in there. It's literally just probably like the last 10, 15 pages. It's going to be drawing, so there isn't really anything that I really need to like write or script out. You know what I mean? It's like it's literally just a police chase. So like I just got to draw a shitload of pages of a police chase. Um, so I got to get cracking on that because that's the comic that I'm working on in SVS, and that's going to be like an 80 to 100 page comic. I'm kind of anticipating. So with how fast I can get pages done and kind of like my work rate and everything like that, I think I can probably have the thing completely donezo and finished towards the tail end of the year. Strictly because we have number one that came out earlier in the year, so it's been out for a couple months now, and then I have number two that's currently in the works. The submission form is already up. People have already submitted things for it, so that's awesome. Um, and then yeah, so I guess kind of lost my train of thought again. It's terrible, but it's kind of where I'm at though with everything, I suppose. Oh, that's what I was talking about. Is I think that's when it's going to be out. The second issue that is going 2 months, 2.5 months roughly. It's going to be out like towards the middle of August. I'm going to have that up and good to go. I'm going to turn the Wi-Fi back on here and see if that helps out the connection at all. Looks like it's getting a little choppy. It's storming really bad outside, so that's why it just keeps going like in and out. The internet's been doing that all day today. We're supposed to be getting like a pretty bad storm and storming like 15 minutes away. And that's going to be hitting here like within the next 10 minutes or so. So the internet's kind of been wonky because of that. But yeah, I think that is what I need to do though, because I'm just trying to like talk to myself, I guess, here a little bit. Is I want to think about a little bit outside the box, especially for Eddie Pecan, because it's like obviously it's like kayfabe means a lot to me. I have Eddie P's studio book literally right here beside my desk at all times. Like it doesn't leave my side. So I want to do something a little special for the con when I am attending it. I don't know if I'm going to make like a special T-shirt for it. I don't want to do like stickers or something generic like that. Like I want to go all out and actually like do something for it. So I think I'm gonna reach out to some people, get some T-shirts made, and do something like cool for Eddie P Con and do that. Because like, how many cartoonists do you know show up to a con and it's like, here's T-shirts, hey, here's hoodies. Nobody does that. It's like this like your generic bullshit to where it's just, hey, I have a comic or I got a sketchbook or prints or whatever. Right? It's like what everybody else does. I'm trying to do what other people aren't doing. And I've even contemplated because if people don't know this already, it's like I have a music background. That's what I went to school for, anyways. I became a cartoonist, but that's how it just goes sometimes. But I have a music background. I know how to use Ableton and Pro Tools and all that kind of stuff. So I've contemplated even making like a drum bass sort of record and ripping it to cassette because again I have all the stuff to do this, but rip it to like a reel to reel, then rip it to a cassette, and then sell like a cool little like kayfabe like mixtape sort of thing and sell that at Eddie Con. Just kind of trying to think out like outside the box of different things that I could do besides just straight up just selling a comic. I have the talent and the tenacity to do so. I'm not gonna spoil it until the con, but like I said, it's like I might do like a music cassette. I might make T-shirts, hoodies, hats. I don't know, but I'm gonna do something cool for it though. But if anybody is popping in here, it'd be appreciated if you leave a like, comment. So that way, it kind of pushes this to the front. Um, we already had 30 people stop by, which is like normal stream for me, and we've only been going for 20 minutes. I usually go for an hour, hour and a half. But we will see what I end up doing here. All right. Chilling, chilling, chilling. We're gonna end up doing some drawing here at some point as well. It's because we do have somebody kind of chilling. If you give me just some random cartoon character, superhero, you name it, and just throw it in the chat, that'll be the next thing that I'll draw, just for funsies. Let's see. I'm gonna go. All right. All right. Gotta keep rocking and rolling here. Man, it's hot. Got one. One, two, three, four, five, six comics. I think I'm probably gonna end up bagging and boarding like 15 of these, and that's probably where I'll call it. Yeah, come on. Man. Such a pain in the ass sometimes. It's like my my biggest thing that I hate about collecting comics, man, is just having to bag and board everything. Like, don't get me wrong, like it's kind of satisfying doing it, but just sometimes it's like I don't feel like the bags or like the boards are like cut exactly the way they should be, or like sized the way they should be. It is kind of annoying. But yeah, I'll probably knock out 5 of those drawings real quick. After I'm done bagging and boarding these, like I'll just sit here and draw, and just once I'm done with it, I'll just show it off to the camera, and we'll just keep moving on. And I'll sit and do that for a little bit. My roommate's probably gonna be home in like a half hour to 45 minutes or so, and I'll probably stop once he gets home because his room is right beside mine, and it gets a little noisy. So. That's also why I stream so early in the morning, just so you guys are aware. It's because that motherfucker is still sleeping. So I'm sitting here, I'm streaming, and when he gets up, like I call it because it gets too loud in the house, man. It's just noisy in here. Like we live in a small house, and I live in a busy area. So, um, like when it gets more into the afternoon, it's like I live on a highway, like we're literally right out here, basically. So it's like it gets noisy outside. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Got 3 more to go. Probably go swing by the old comic shop tomorrow and see what we got. I did go swing by the shop recently, and I picked up a copy of Absolute Martian Manhunter. Absolute Batman. A couple other things as well. And Absolute Batman, like I don't get it personally. Um I'm just not into the more modern Batman. All right. Yeah, I had to sneak away there for a second. The UPS guy was standing outside, needed to sign something for my roommate. Yeah, just kind of refresh. This is what I'm doing. I'm just bagging and boarding up my comics. I stick a little business card out on the front there of myself, and then do a little sticky of my QR code on the back. 5, 6, 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Two more. I think I'm gonna do 10. And then I'll just take extras with me, and then I'll just bag them and board them there, if need be. Save me a lot of time and effort that way. Doing it, doing it. All right, got one more to go, and then we're gonna start doing some doodling here, some sketching. Throw this in here. Good old bags and boards, man. It's like the best and worst part about comic collecting. It's like it's satisfying, but it's so time consuming, and sometimes like you just don't want to do it, especially when you come home with like a fresh stack of floppies. If I could speak English, um, that's like the worst. Is just having to organize them. You know, it's like nobody wants to do that, but it's part of the job. All right, then we got to stick a business card on the front. We're good to grow. So you can see it's what I do. I stick a little business card on the front of the bag and board, and then I put a QR code on the sticker on the back as well. I know it's kind of hard to see because it's so dark, but direct people to my website that way. It's free marketing. Boom. Slap that on there, and there we go. That's a done package. They decide to buy this. I'll throw in a sticker for free. I got like a sticker pack that I made up, so I got a handful of stickers. Um, and then as well, I have the sketchbook. So this is what we're going to be drawing on. So I made these up. This is just kind of like a sketchbook of a bunch of it's a mini sketchbook, I should say, of a bunch of different drawings from like I filled up 3 sketchbooks in 8 months, both pages front to back. So I just kind of like went through it and decided to just grab like some of my favorite like little drawings that were in there. So like a Dick Tracy little slime dude, uh, Beavis and Butthead thing, like a Howard the Duck, little space ghost. So just kind of like things like that. And then on the back is what I do is I put in like a drawing here. So I'll grab one that's finished. So if you're just now joining, you can see what I do. Um, I will take these, and so you can kind of see what one looks like. I'll put the drawing name at the top, and then just do like a little sketch doodle sort of thing. This R. Crumb, obviously, Mr. Natural. This is number 16 out of 75. I made 75 of these, so that's how many there's going to be. 75 individual drawings, and these things are only $2 a piece. So I usually, sell normal art pieces in between $50 to $75, kind of depending there. And then if it's like an actual page, like those are in between $100 and $150, kind of depending on the amount of drawing and all that. So this is like an extremely cheap way to get a drawing from myself. Um, that's completely original, and then plus there's going to be no duplicates. So I am keeping track of everything that I'm drawing. Like I literally have a sketch list right here of all of the ones that I've already done, and I will not double down properties as well. So like I already drew a Batman, so I'm not gonna draw a Joker. I'm not gonna do like a Riddler, nothing like that. Like it's strictly going to stay um, one per property. And there's 75 drawings I got to do, so like I'm really challenging myself to like find things that are outside the box. Um, that. So I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna draw Fred Flintstone. I'm gonna draw Barney Rubble. I'm gonna draw Dino. Like no, it's not gonna happen. Trying to challenge myself. So let's go ahead and get into that then. So we got the last one bagged and boarded. That's all good. The rest of these, if I end up selling more at the con, then great. I'll just bag and board them there. And pack this up. So yeah, I ordered the first issue. I ordered 300 comics. That's how many we printed. We sold like 100, and we sold more than half of them already. So I have to save like 75 of them for EDPCon, and it's kind of like I don't think I'm going to sell 75 of them there, but that's kind of what I want to save at least for the con, because you never know. But yeah, I'm gonna have to cut it off at some point off my website, because it's like I've sold too many of them, and it's like not that I can't print more of these. It's just I'm not going to be able to have some printed and ready by EDPCon. So that's kind of the issue. But after EDPCon, I can absolutely print some more, and I probably will. I'll probably print like 10 to 15 of them, just kind of have them on standby whenever somebody wants one, or like the comic shop runs out. Take some more over there and sell them off to them. I have my books in 2 shops here in this area, and then I have a shop in San Francisco, and then I have it in a shop in Georgia. The shop in San Francisco like sold out the very first day that they had the books. I sent them another batch. They did not sell through that second batch. The first time they gave them like 3 or 4 copies, I think, that they purchased from me. The second batch, they ordered 10, so they ordered more than double that they did the previous time. They haven't reached back out for a reorder. I've emailed them and I haven't heard anything. But I'm just kind of to put into perspective. It's like when your comics first come out, there's a lot of excitement around it, and then it just kind of like dies in the water. So you kind of have to keep the wheels turning on it, and obviously your reprint numbers get smaller and smaller and smaller as time goes on. So it's like things you kind of have to think about when you are reprinting your own books and things like that, because it's like it costs you X amount of dollars to print the books. It costs you X amount of time also to print the books. So you kind of have to think about what you're doing in the future for like cons or whatever else, timeline wise. All right, cool. So I got these all bagged and board, and I'll show this off too, because we got some other people hanging out. But I got some stickers made up. So like I made a little space ghost. I did a little Beetlejuice guy. I got Animal from the Muppets, my favorite Muppet. I'm a musician and drummer, so it's like a course. And then I did a little holographic sticker of like a little like slime and monster guy. This slime and monster dude is like no shit, like one of the very first drawings I've ever done, like in terms of just like I would call it a more professional drawing, I would say. And anytime I show it to somebody, it's like people always like, oh, I like that. So it's like I just keep bringing it into rotation on prints, stickers, and everything like that. Not even contemplate like maybe making that like a logo or something. Because like I said, it's like every time I show this to somebody, they really like it. It's just kind of like a generic slime monster dude, but he's cool. So I mean, and it's like one of those drawings that can easily be replicated, so I can continuously do it and do it over and over again, kind of like as a remark sort of thing. So that's something that I thought about. My original character that I have, one of them, Ken Stein DDS. That's going to be like the story slash comic that's going to be in the second issue of the anthology. Is Ken Stein? He's literally just, I mean, he's on the cover of the first issue and he's not even in it, which I think is kind of funny. That's basically what he looks like. He's just a Frankenstein guy in a lab coat because he's a dentist as well. So in this drawing, you really can't tell that he has the. Here, I'll just grab it here quick. So in the. So this is the title page to the comic, so you can kind of see there. He's got a bolt in his neck and everything like that. So that's what we're looking at. All right, we're going for about 45 minutes. Pack up all this stuff here. Fun stuff. I tell you what, though, it's my roommate's gonna be home in like 15 minutes, and it is really hot in here. I have the windows shut right now because I was streaming. But I think I'm gonna call it. I just kind of threw it on, kind of just wanted to sit and bullshit for a little bit, and while I was back and boarding. Um, and then as well tomorrow, I think is what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna take the camera, flip it up, and then we're just gonna sit and I'm just gonna do some doodles on the stream and just kind of sit and talk, chat, and chill. And I might do that a little earlier in the morning. I I have some things that I need to go run around and do tomorrow, but not much, man. I just gotta get cracking on like these actual comics and everything like that, and actually get working on these damn things. Um, so I'm gonna crank out some of these drawings here, and then once I'm done with these bad boys, I think I'm gonna call it for the day. But I hope everybody has a good rest of your day. Like I said, I just kind of wanted to pop on here and shoot the shit for a little bit while I was bagging and boarding some comics, just kind of getting ready for the con. Actually, because I did not show it yet, but this is kind of like what I take to cons with me. So this is, just like a portfolio book. So then I have like a full, menu in there on what I'm going to be offering. There's kind of like prints, pages, all that kind of stuff in here. So there's just a way for, obviously, I think a lot of people do this at cons, but it's just a way for people to kind of flip through and take a look at some like original art and things like that that they would actually want to buy. But with that being said, I think I'm gonna take off here. I hope everybody has a good rest of your day. I might pop back on here tomorrow, but for sure on Sunday I'm gonna be streaming from the con that we were just literally prepping for. So that would be some fun. Kind of walk around. We might dig for some comics for a little bit. So who knows? We'll see what happens. But peace. Thanks for hanging out. Comics.